Hello everyone, welcome to SPOIL1923. If you haven't watched it yet, come and watch it again. At the request of many comments from those who want to revisit the feelings of attending scout camp, this clip spoils the movie, The Howling Dog at the Scout Camp. Scouts please like. And if you're a Girl Scout or a Red Cross member, hit the bell. And when everyone is ready, raise 3 fingers. And line up to enter the spoiler room.
This clip is a spoiler for key content of the movie. Anyone wishing to watch the full film can skip this clip. Viewers over 18 years old are advised. Children, pregnant women, or elderly people with heart conditions should be under medical supervision. Viewers who are alone are recommended to hug a pillow, and those with partners should hold your loved ones tightly. Wishing everyone a happy viewing and listening experience. Thank you.
The story opens with news of a famous incident reported in the newspaper, where a group of teenagers from the show Teen Challenge Ghost died in the forest, totaling 5 victims, near the abandoned scout camp in Rayong province. The cause of death remains unclear, as some showed signs of struggle, while others did not show any signs of a fight at all. This abandoned scout camp is famous for its legend stemming from horror stories shared on social media, known as the ghost legend of the scout camp. After a while, the news reported that there was one survivor from this incident who is currently being interrogated by the police. The mysterious deaths of the producers of this show have garnered significant interest, referencing the curse of this beloved camp, which is said to be the curse of the ghost of a white sister scout who drowned in the abandoned scout camp. The story then returns to the show Teen Challenge Ghost, which takes place before the tragedy. The team members of Teen Challenge Ghost include several teenage actors: Job, Luke Caillou, Payeng, Nudie, Olive, Most, and Fluke. Although their show was gaining popularity at that time, they faced internal issues as almost all sponsors had not paid them. Fortunately, they received a major project from the film producer Mr. Finn, who would sponsor Teen Challenge Ghost. They collaborated with Brother Bear from the famous show Bear, Friend of Ghosts, to tell horror stories related to the legend of the scout camp. They also invited the famous star Bucko to join this project. Initially, Olive strongly disagreed, fearing that inviting too many people would make it chaotic. However, due to the financial situation of the show at that time, they all had to accept the job and work together on this project, which involved filming a show about the ghost legend of the scout camp at the abandoned scout camp in Rayong. As the show begins, they introduce Brother Bear from the show Bear, Friend of Ghosts, who is knowledgeable about the ghost legends of the scout camp. However, being a group of teenagers who lack awareness of the situation, the Teen Challenge Ghost team constantly tries to prank Brother Bear with awkward jokes. In addition to Brother Bear, there is also a guest star, Bucko, who joins them in this project. When everyone arrived at the abandoned scout camp, Brother Bear took them to the Shrine of the White Sister, which had a statue of a scout representing the child who drowned, located at the entrance. However, while everyone was busy, a sudden wind blew in surprisingly. When they turned to look at the source of the wind, it turned out that the church had lifted a fan to create the draft as a prank. After that, the crew set up the camera to film Brother Bear as he recounted the legend of the White Sister, who was said to be very vengeful. It was said that anyone who dared to take the scout hat from the statue of the White Sister would be pursued to get it back. As Brother Bear was telling the frightening history, Nudie suddenly brought out the scout hat to prank Brother Bear, startling him and making him look frightened. Meanwhile, they felt that during the filming, there was some kind of energy watching them. However, the pranks from the Teen Challenge Ghost group did not stop and led to pranking another person. Nudie pretended to fall, which caused her hand to accidentally knock over the offerings for the White Sister that were placed on the table, scattering them everywhere. Nudie then said that she didn't mean to do it that badly and went to apologize to Bucko, who did not hold a grudge. However, the prank escalated to the point of disrespect once again when Pee-mee was delivering an apology news segment. At that moment, Fluke sneaked up behind Pee-mee and pulled down his pants, causing everyone to laugh without caring about anything else. Suddenly, Nudik started to cry, which shocked everyone. But it turned out to be just a prank to embarrass Pimi and Buko. In this episode, it seems that the ghost show has become a mess and lacks anything truly scary, only filled with pranks that have made Pimi and Buko increasingly unhappy. Buko also mentioned that if such incidents happen again, he will not continue filming. The situation became tense, prompting them to call Job to discuss the pranks, which were excessive and lacked awareness of appropriateness. However, instead of the Green Ghost team reflecting on this, Job called everyone to talk and told Pimi that this was their show and they would control it themselves. If Pimi wanted to have control, he should make his own show, completely disregarding Pimi's warnings and even considering them trivial. After that, the filming started to lose its fun and the atmosphere was filled with discomfort. Every time Pimi was telling the legend of Pikau, the group from Green Ghost would interrupt and speak disrespectfully to the guests. The pranks continued throughout the filming, including staging a scene where they found a pot with blood to scare the audience, and they even placed pig entrails in the pot to shock Buko, who began to feel fed up. After a break in the filming, Fluke continued to play pranks by taking red water from Pikau's container to trick Ollie into drinking it, causing Ollie to quickly spit it out. Shortly after, Boat, who was recording the ambient sounds, heard a strange noise that resembled someone jumping into the water. Additionally, there were marks on the floor that looked like a trail of blood and yellow water. Not long after, another member, Luke Caillou, arrived at the filming set as she had a minor obligation to attend to before joining. The filming continued as usual. Then, Pimi gradually revealed something that started to emerge during the filming, explaining that in this forest, there are not only the spirit of Pika, but also many other ghosts and spirits. Pimi shared stories while taking them on a tour of the location, until they reached the meeting pavilion called Sala Apai Mani, which looked very abandoned inside. But then again, P-Shock and Fluke teamed up to prank Pimi by locking him in an old bathroom and pretending to set fire to his backside. However, Pimi still gritted his teeth to finish the filming. Pimi had also previously shown the spirits in that area. Then everyone traveled to the clean assembly hall, and her friends encouraged Lukau to sing on the stage. However, while she was singing, she felt something stuck behind her, causing her to fall. Lukau was still unaware that the location they were filming in was a real place. After Fluke put the tiger cub's eyes up as usual, they brought Buko to tie him up with Kawi and planned to prank Buko again, by having a ghost in a mask scare him. However, it seemed that this prank went too far, as the startled Luke Crad fell and hit the ground hard, causing Buko to faint. When Buko regained consciousness and saw that he was injured with a split head, he could no longer tolerate it and began to yell at the team, saying they were playing around without understanding. Since filming began, he had already been pranked by P-Me several times, but this time it was too much, and Buko refused to continue filming. He then contacted the adults to come and join this show. One last time, before leaving, Buko cursed everyone on the team, saying that if they continued to play without knowing the time and place, the ghost would kill them all. He made sure to remember this before shaking off the mob and walking away. This incident caused everyone on the team to change their attitude and led to arguments. Additionally, the sponsor had to personally come by car to oversee the filming. Brother Bear was also unable to handle the team's ghostly behavior, so he requested to cancel the filming that evening. Luke Caillou also did not want to continue filming because she felt uncomfortable and eventually asked to go home. Therefore, Nudik called Aunt Paeng to help with the filming in place of Luke Caillou. Then the team members changed the ghost challenge and had to film it themselves. Additionally, Mr. Fryn wanted the filming to include a ghost, so the crew had to hire a boy to dress as a ghost in a scout uniform to stand in for the filming, hoping to make it look scary. However, it seemed that both the crew and all the members had lost motivation for this project because too many incidents had occurred, causing everyone to look at each other without any fun or pranks left. Not long after, another incident happened when the hired scout suddenly ran across the screen and disappeared into the forest without even being instructed to film. Seeing that things were going poorly, Job told Bo to run after the scout to bring him back. However, while everyone was searching for the scout's mother called the crew and informed them that the scout had a prior engagement and could not perform. Once the crew learned this, they immediately realized that the scout was not someone they had hired to act. At that moment, the scout slowly walked out of the forest towards the crew, prompting them to rush through the underbrush until they reached the entrance of the abandoned scout camp. But it was unfortunate for the prankster ghost hunting team, as they remained stuck in the forest and were unaware that the scout was a ghost. Additionally, there was no phone signal in that area. At this point, there was only Job, who had separated from the team to chase after the scout, while the remaining 5 members wandered in the forest, unable to find a way out. No matter how far they walked, they kept returning to the same spot, as if they were being misled by a ghost. Until Ollie, who could no longer walk, sat down crying and repeatedly shouted apologies to the spirits and the White Brother. At the same time, Aunt Pyeng began to act strangely and spoke oddly about death. Moreover, they were haunted by the White Brother's ghost, forcing them to flee in panic, scattering in different directions. Suddenly, Aunt Pyeng disappeared, and Ollie, running in a panic alone, encountered Boat, who was approaching her in a frightening manner, seemingly wanting to harm her until, ultimately, she met her end. Then, Nudie, Job, and Fluke, who were huddled together, came across the video camera that Ollie had set up and saw that Boat had brutally attacked Ollie. Before the image faded, the headless figure of Ollie appeared, standing behind them. As if that wasn't enough, it also revealed True, who suddenly fell victim to Brother White's ghost and was taken away. Now, only Nudie and Job remain, Nudie feeling hopeless. As friends fall and disappear one by one, cried out in despair. However, seeing the situation was dire, Job grabbed Nudie's arm and tried to run in search of an escape. But then, at that moment, Boat suddenly appeared, grabbing Nudie's arm, before pulling Nudie into the forest as well. In the end, only Job remains, running around looking for a way out in the forest. He encounters Aunt Pyeng, who is sitting with her head down. Job tries to approach and call out to her, but she doesn't move at all. However, when Job walks a bit further away, Aunt Pyeng suddenly lunges at him violently, attacking Job until he ultimately dies. In summary, the prankster ghost hunting team has no survivors left, including Aunt Pyeng, who the news reported had taken her own life in her room. Before joining the filming, this confirms that Aunt Pyeng, who was with the prankster ghost hunting team, was indeed a ghost in disguise. The video ends with Brother Bear's words after learning about the deaths of the team members from the Ghost Challenge. He warns that the place is not just inhabited by his spirit or ordinary ghosts, but there are deeper mysteries. Before we were born, there were things we couldn't see, and we shouldn't play with them. The youthful desire to challenge, to prove oneself, can lead to unknown dangers. He expresses condolences to all the members of the team who played with things they shouldn't have and acted recklessly out of bravado. The film concludes with this message. How was the Howling Dog Day at the Scout Camp? For me, it wasn't quite up to par. It felt lacking, and not smooth enough, so I give it 5 skulls for this. What do you all think about this? How many skulls would you give it? Feel free to comment and discuss. The regular comment for this clip is from the spoiler about the legend of the Krasu ghost, and a comment from user Optimistic Rolltech, who commented that if there were many Krasu, it would be good, because the country would be clean and free from the filth of these foul-mouthed party candidates. The slogan is, clean and tidy, can withstand it. Being a buffalo would be nice. This life wouldn't be lonely, because they are always there. Spoiler 1923. Today, I have to take my leave. See you in the next clip. For today, goodbye.